Hey, yo, what it do? What it do? It's your boy Q, and we're here at the Scholastic Champs Spring Champions Invitational. This is going to be a lot of fun, man. This is a national competition between two state champions from top Scholastic esports leagues across the nation, man. None of these teams have played one another in sanctioned matches, at least so far. We'll be showcasing one match from each round, as well as the playoffs over here on the broadcast. Today, we're watching some Valorant. On the mic with me today is my homie Tucker. Tucker, how you been, bro?
I've been doing fantastic. It's a beautiful Tuesday afternoon, and we're about to watch some top-class Valorant. The Kennedy Cougars of Iowa and the Bishop Kelly Knights of Idaho go toe-to-toe in a best-of-3.
Yeah, it should be a lot of fun, man. When we look as far as how these two teams did as far as in their own states with matchups, neither of them have dropped the series. Matter of fact, in this lobby today, between these two teams, they've only dropped just a single map. Both teams used to really being able to assert their dominance, being able to really control the map, really being able to frag out. So I'm really curious to see who's going to be able to respond once they see maybe a little bit of extra pressure from the opposition they're not used to seeing.
Yeah, some really heavy hitters on these two teams. And we go to a couple of interesting maps, mostly just normalcy for the first two. However, if we decide to go to that decider, look at that. We get a sunset. How many times have you seen sunset played?
I haven't seen Sunset played too many times, at least especially at the Scholastic level, man. I'm really excited to see how these two teams take it on. Before we dive into anything too much further, though, Tucker, I do want to thank League OS for powering this tournament. We're excited to share with the LOS portal where college recruiters can easily find high school prospects. We're inviting all of our high school students to head on over to https:// of course, portal.leagueos.gg and set up their college portal profiles. I got to check them out a little bit over at Midwest Fest, I believe it was not too long ago. Always got to make sure you're checking in. It's a really cool deal, man, especially you're getting ready to head off to college. We got a couple of students here in this lobby today that are going to be heading out. Of course, we got students that are going to be juniors, sophomores, freshmen as well. So definitely make sure you're getting in there early.
Yeah, and we were talking about this right before we got the broadcast kicked off. Both of these teams are actually pretty young for being as good as they are. You said they were like two seniors?
Yeah, two seniors that graduated this year. Now, when we do look across the way over at the Kennedy Cougars, they're going to have quite a few seniors this upcoming year. 3 of them, actually, as well as 1 junior. So that's going to be a team that's a little bit older as far as playing together, maybe a little bit longer. But when you look at the Bishop Kelly Knights, I mean, they had, 3 freshmen on their roster this year. That's kind of crazy.
Yeah, a lot of youth, a lot of star power beyond their years, and they have a lot of experience going through their way, going through their state championship, and pretty much dominating everybody. I believe the only thing that was lost from either of these teams was a single map a little bit earlier on in the season. So far, no series lost throughout their season, and they look to keep it that way. However, only one team can keep that reputation.
I think the big thing that's really crazy to me too is looking at the round differentials of these teams. It's not like they've been playing a lot of close games. They're used to really being able to dominate the opposition. I mean, when we look at Bishop Kelly, I mean, they've been absolutely slaying it. I think it's like 150 round differential over 12 games. But then you look over at the Kennedy Cougars. They're up they're up just over 200 round differential over just 10 maps. They absolutely dominate the field when they're in their bag.
Unbelievable. Some really, really dominated matches from that squad. And I mean, 200 plus round differential, that's insane. Over 10
Insane.
matches is unheard of.
It's absolutely insane. So I'm gonna be really interested to see how these two teams square off and how they compare to one another today, Tucker. But we already starting to get into our agent select here. We're starting off on Ascent, as you had mentioned earlier. And I would say when we're looking at our compositions, we have one getting hovered here. Does look like we're going to be having mirror comps, and mirror comps always offer this interesting dynamic because it truly becomes down to who is able to manipulate their composition, who has the best synergy, and of course the best gunny as well. So it's a true test of skill.
I really like to see mirror comps. It really shows the skill between these two teams. It's not about
Yep.
the agent selection. It's not about who is playing a better strategy according to their composition. No, it's the same thing on both sides. If you can't get it right, you can't get it right. That's on you. But say you pick the wrong agent. Say you decide to bring a Cypher instead of a Killjoy. An interesting pick, and sometimes it's not the right choice. Most of the time it's not, especially on a map like Ascent. Usually KJ is the tried and true. If you really wanted to bring a Cypher, you usually bring them alongside a KJ. But no, we get one Sentinel, we get 2 Initiators, 1 Duelist, and a Controller on both sides. And this time, it just happens to be the exact same character every time.
I love to see how the pistol round, I feel like often for teams, really helps set the tone. And again, Tucker, looking back to how strong these two teams have been performing throughout the course of their state competitions, it just feels like we're going to most definitely be seeing a little bit of extra stress here. I'm going to be seeing if anyone happens to be playing loose or happens to be playing aggressive. A nice little kind of stagger over towards that A side, it looks like potentially for now, but it doesn't look like anyone's wanting to get that first engagement just quite yet.
Not at all. Kennedy's pushing up a little bit over towards mid, but not too quickly are they going. They are already up into that little corner of Catwalk trying to push through tree, but I think the Omen has a hunch that they are there. But now they have a big advantage. The Omen is pretty much trapped. Procrastinator has to find a way to get out of here without getting spotted by either one of these sides. About to be sandwiched. They found an easy shot, but it is traded out immediately. The execute still starts. Fear Luck's good for 1, but no more than that. As we go to the 3v3, Clarence and MF continue to pound.
And that's going to give them access here onto the side as well. All going to be left to Gizmo here for now. At least has been giving themselves access up to heaven. But of course, the sound notification lets everyone know they're there. Jace finds the heady in the first round here up on the board.
Really clean and efficient execute. Not losing too many men, only losing the Jet and the KO off of trades. But I really liked how nothing went untraded. They did not let the defensive side get any free picks. Everything was traded out. And since then, it was just one after another after another. The attacking Kennedy Cougars will pounce and will get the 1-0 lead off the pistol.
That's my job. Spot coming back.
Now, of course, when you win the pistol, you should have that slight advantage here in this second round. One thing that we are going to be seeing here as far as from our best of the best in state competitions, that they are going to be very disciplined. Sometimes we do see at the Scholastic level, they try and force up on the second round. This time around, not so much. So that does mean that Kennedy Cougars should be able to win this second round. They need to make sure that this is still a very safe round and keep everyone standing.
Couple really big shots. Procrastinator doing everything they can to keep themselves alive, but it's just not enough. And MF with a long-range shot. Spectre gets her done. And the dot goes down. Robot de-initiated. And we go to the bonus round off the pistol and the anti-eco. It was looking really, really nice for the offense, Kennedy Cougars. But now, we have a little bit fairer of a fight. Actually, it favors Bishop Kelly now that they've got rifles in their hands. And of course, Kennedy has a couple of rifles in the Bulldog and the Vandal, but it's not going to do much good if they get taken down early and if they just get outgunned by the immense firepower that Bishop Kelly has.
Yeah, the one thing, though, to keep in mind, of course, you talked about here, the bonus here for Kennedy Cougars. If you're able to either make this round super expensive or even if you're able to reset the bank, it allows you to really get the control here early. Bakery trying to get a little peek up over the wall. Now going to at least get themselves a little bit of recon with the dart. Tries to spray through, but not going to be able to find anything through the smoke. Is going to back down here as well. Quick execute going to be clearing this backside towards the spawn.
Already a one-man disadvantage for Kennedy, though, but they are not holding back. They're pushing up in through mid. We got a bit of a Sova battle going on near the gate. MF peeks out, and MF's just a little bit better. The Spectre gets the upset in that kill. The Phantom is simply not good enough, and we are completely even. And this gives Kennedy a lot of space for where they want to go. Big spray, 406 has to fall back. They are still in the lead, but A site is pretty open. Fairlush is the only one that's able to defend it directly.
Yeah, they got to move in here quickly. Going to go for the plan. It's going to be MF. Not going to be able to find it. Also, Fear Lux turns the corner, finds Jace, and that's going to be a nice, relatively clean round here on the board for Bishop Kelly. We talked about how important it was for Kennedy to try and make that round expensive. 4 rifles still left standing. That's going to help move that econ a little more in favor of Kennedy. Or Bishop,
Absolutely.
sorry. Bishop Kelly.
Absolutely does. And I would have liked to see Kennedy take a couple more guns off that, but they simply couldn't. 406 Dot had that dog in them for that one round. They did not have a single kill before that. Now they've got 4 jumps up to the top frag, matching the entire rest of the team in one round. Great rebound off of the pistol and anti, but can they keep it up? Kennedy starting their push onto the A site. A heavy hit. They've got a wide open place to plant.
Yeah, they've got themselves plenty of space here, especially with that smoke sitting up top in heaven. You even see the extra util making sure that they don't step through while Clarence is able to get the plant down. But it is going to be a full 5v5 here on the retake for now. You can't help but wonder as far as which direction they try and push 3 players up in heaven, even trying to spam down. Owl Drone going to come across and at least get the location away from one. You see him trying to spam through the floor to try and get some damage, but nothing yet.
I feel this should be a pretty easy post plan for them, as all 5 players coming from pretty much the same spot. Nice trade-off. Nice triple kill from Roro. And it just keeps getting better. The Jets down really low. On for the ace as they make it 4 kills. And there it is. The ace comes out for Roranora. And that is the bonus round completely negated. Roro allows their team to get everything they once lost back.
Everything's back here on the board, and now they've got to be just a little bit concerned. You would like to try and put 2 back together, or 2 rounds back to back there, right, Tucker? Unfortunately, now a 3-1 lead. And when you talk about on the back of an ace like that from Arona, oh man, just I can't imagine what this round's going to be feeling like. They've got to make sure that they win this, or at least get some rifles out of hands. Unfortunately, the econ and the buy not in their favor.
Not at all. Best gun on the defensive Bishop Kelly side is a Spectre, and they don't even have any heavies to go with it. So it's going to be really, really difficult to win this round if you are the Knights. Meanwhile, it is just a red wall. Roranoa, as well as that KJ Jace, easily getting everybody taken down, and Bad Kid will end the round out. That'll be a flawless for the Cougars.
Wow. 2 big rounds back to back like that. Now there are going to be, of course, rifles back in the hands over on the side of Bishop Kelly. Thought we were going to be seeing, yeah, actually they're going to be bringing out the op here as well on the side of Procrastinator. That's a big investment into a round. Really hoping to try and pump the brakes on what we're seeing right now from the offense of Bishop Kelly.
It's going to be really difficult to take down these Cougars. They are dominating right now. Everything is going their way. They, of course, lost the bonus round, but Roranora came back right after that with an ace, and there's not much you could do about that. Whenever you're on, and nothing will kill you. So up goes the push into the B site. However, Bishop Kelly is aware, and I'm not sure if Kennedy's going to be able to get through this.
And right now, you do see a little bit more of a passive approach, and sitting back for now is Roronoa, and they're going to fall off a nice headshot here from Bakery. That's going to cause them to try and rotate this thing over towards A. Jace is going to be able to find one, brings this thing down to a 4v3. Plant going to start going down here as well, but Procrastinator aiming down sight, able to find MF.
1 versus 3, Procrastinator with the op. However, they've got a really nice potential here. Procrastinator missed the first shot. Clarence still alive, and that's ticking. They take this right. They should have a one-on-one while the spike is getting diffused. Clarence knows that they've got to be careful. Really nice TP. Takes a shot, but it's not good enough. Procrastinator will end Clarence's life, and in the run of the Cougars, Bishop Kelly now is still there. They've got their second round, Lost quite a bit, but they keep that op online, which is the big part.
Yeah, scratching and clawing here, able to make sure that they're still within 2. And you mentioned the big thing is able to keep that op online and in the hands of Procrastinator, who was able to get themselves a couple of kills off that last one. I think especially there in the middle, making sure they don't have as many players rotating over towards A. Now going to be curious to see as far as on the side of Bishop Kelly. Can they keep things moving? Can they keep things kind of going in this favor as far as for now? I mean, if you can kind of pull things back in control, that'd be big.
A lot of utility dumped off in B garage. Not really good for much. I think I might have spotted a couple of people. Rotation comes out from the defense, but I think it's going to be a double rotate as one rotates from A and one rotates to A. As look at the offense on the east side. There is nothing standing between them and getting an easy plant on that A site. Everybody on the Knights is clumped up on the west side. That's going to drain off at least 20 seconds if they just make the move.
Yeah, they don't have any information, though, to let them know that it's completely safe. And now, because there's been no movement over towards the B site, you do see the defense slowly starting to rotate their way over towards A. Not a full commit yet, just because they don't want to be caught out of position on a potential, like, delayed push into B. But as far as for now, that opportunity, that window that was had for a full possession on the A site has now gone.
That's good to destroy some of the utility. Couple of shots, couple of kills as well. Right now we got MF, headshot and the kill for the Omen. And the attacker lockdown is going to be massive to go through. Bakery, though, has potential to get this Hunter's Fury. If they can find one frag, they can shut that down. But with just 2 seconds to go, that's not going to be the case. 1-man advantage. The spike is planted down. And with that, it's going to make it 2-man, 3-man, 4-man. 1 versus 5. Bakery doing everything they can. They will take the Hunter's Fury, but there's no chance to use it. And there's no possibility to swing that round the other way. It's another very clean round for the Cougars.
Yeah, I think one thing I'm really noticing here, Tucker, is it feels like every one of these rounds that does go over on the side of the Cougars has been so clean, right? I mean, we're talking 4, maybe 3 rifles still left in hands, or, you're keeping people up, and that's going to help the economy in the long run. Whereas, meanwhile, the 2 rounds that we have seen from Bishop Kelly, been kind of those, like, really close rounds.
And you know what's something I've been surprised at? The Cougars have killed the op a couple of times, and they've not taken it. They've decided to keep the default rifles, the Vandals and the Phantoms, which really surprised me. In the right hands, the op can do a lot on this attacker side, but I guess not for them. We got the execute. It's going to be pretty good. There's not a lot of firepower on the defensive Knight side. There's simply nothing they can do. 406 Dot and Bakery are the last 2 left, and Bakery absolutely needs to cook here if they want to swing this round the other way, but I don't think the robot and the Russian can do it.
That's going to be tough here. I mean, you already have 2 players sitting up on top of heaven as well, waiting for the push through the smoke. MF going to be able to find the kill, and all going to be left here to 406. Sitting back in tree, and you would imagine trying to just kind of die to the spike if possible, but they are going to push through this door. They know that 406 lurks in the shadows. 1 shot, 2 shot. Oh, he's able to find a 3rd. Not quite, but it's going to be able to get a quick reload. Might be able to get 1 more rifle out of the hands. Clarence turns the corner, loses his head. Oh my goodness. Not enough time for the defuse, but you took so many rifles out of the hands.
Oh my goodness.
It is still going to be around tier 1 as far as on the side of Kennedy, but talk about 406 with the clip. My God.
I mean, at that point, you know he's low. Run and gun. You have Vandals. You're bound to hit 1 shot. It's not going to affect them here, but if they had any less money, that could have been a disaster. At that point, just run a gun. You're bound to hit a shot. From that close range, you're bound to hit at least 1 in the leg.
All right, here's the thing, Tucker. Let's see if, even though they didn't get that round, that nice little pop ball from 406 might be the catalyst to turn things around for the side of Bishop Kelly. Gizmo going to be spraying through the smoke, trying to slow down this approach here onto A. Everyone's mobbed up, though. They're going to push their way right on through, spraying through the smoke, going to be able to find Gizmo, and that gives them access to the site.
Free access as well. There's not going to be much they could do to deny this plant. They don't really have any ultimates to deny. I mean, they got the Hunter's Fury, but they'd have to pop it blind, and there's just no way they could use it efficiently enough. But that will go down as a easy plant. Shot through the wall is Bad Kid Bakery with a really nice play. Evens this round up.
Gonna step through the smoke. 406 and Bakery both gonna be able to find him. It's gonna be 4v2 on the retake. Time running low. Noah gonna be the last one left here with Jace. They both find one. Jace finds the last. That's gonna be another round one here for the Cougars.
That one was pretty close. A really nice attempt from the Bishop Kelly Knights, but Kennedy just had it in him. Kept it out, forced it to a 1v1, and Jace had the shot, ice in the veins to land that shot, because if not, that could have been an easy turning point, but will secure the momentum as now Kennedy's got 3 rounds in a row, and they forced Bishop Kelly back onto an eco round, which is not a great place for them to be. 406 going to be the high roller here with just a Bulldog. Everybody else got Sheriffs and one of them with a Stinger, but Stinger, it's good if you're within 5 feet. And unfortunately, most of the gunfights on Ascent are more than 5 feet away.
This time around, as far as for the side of the Cougars, they should be able to pretty well make themselves a quick swing here onto site, but Procrastinator is sitting with the Sheriff. Noah is going to be able to find them. That's going to be able to at least give them full access and control in the site. The Hunter's Fury going to get this location away to one. Oh my goodness!
No way. No way, Roa, did you just do that? Peeks out. They've got B site, but there's a lot of defense and a lot of restriction coming out from this Bishop Kelly side.
I want to see Bakery still pop around this corner. He was doing work with that Sheriff. Noah is going to have to back on down here onto this back lane. Both players about to push their way through. Tor Bakeries gets seen. Noah, 4-piece for now. Are you able to pull yourself off a second ace here of the series? You see, quick step in, but Luck's now going to turn the corner. Query just hits your shot. No, Bad Kid takes the ace, not like this.
Bad Kid, come on, man. I wanted to see another ace. We usually don't even see 1 ace a game, let alone 2.
Between two from the same player. Oh, true.
Let alone
that
2
was
from
about
the
to be
same player.
Yeah. Oh, that's all right though.
That
now
would
it's
have been epic.
8-2. That's crazy here. Talk about this really strong first round from the Cougars, Tucker.
Oh yeah, they've been playing fantastically, and considering Ascent is historically more of a defender-sided map, for them to get off to this hot of a start on offense is pretty remarkable.
See this time around, trying to do a very quick execute over towards A. Question is, can Clarence maybe make the read? Steps through, falls to Procrastinator after they had find Noah as well. MF has no worries about stepping through that smoke, able to help him find the frag, but only one left here is going to be MF, who falls to Bakery. That's going to give the Bishop Kelly Knights their 3rd round.
Last round.
Aye, Bakery. What are you doing? Spraying through the smoke, jumping around the corner with a classic right click? I just want to know why my classic doesn't do that. Every time I right click, it always makes a perfect outline. But you know, I'm just not Bakery. I cannot cook the bread like they can. No, it's a tragedy, but it's just how it is. So we go to round 12. I really like where Bishop Kelly got that win because it breaks the streak of Kennedy before going into halftime. Whether they win this round or lose it, I think breaking that streak is going to be pretty influential.
For sure, and it also maybe even be able to turn 3 into 4 and 8-4. I mean, definitely manageable. You mentioned a little bit normally stronger defense-sided map, but doesn't mean they can't do the same once they turn over on the offensive side. Procrastinator's going to find the opening pick, but gets traded out by Clarence.
Ooh, Clarence just keeps him coming. B site now open. Going to be a very easy plant for a big KO. And I actually think that Bad Kid forgot they had the spike. Puts it down now, though. One-man advantage. But they are going up against 3 ultimates, as one of them already gets popped. If they could pop that lockdown in a really good spot, that would be really difficult to defend against. Just like that. Despite the one-man advantage, this is a pretty even round.
Oh, but I think that Hunter's Fury just might end the lockdown. Yeah, it does. The attacker is able to wrap things up here. And 9-3. I mean, I've heard something about a curse once or twice here, but I don't know, man. The way that the Kennedy Cougars look to be playing for now, I think they're going to look and try and wrap this thing up quick, fast, and in a hurry.
That they are, and you know, I'm trying to not to say the C word, but there is a stigma around the score line of 9-3. You know, how sometimes comebacks come along and others, things of that nature. However, Kennedy is switching on to the better side. Statistically, defense has dominated on Ascent as of late, and as of, I think, the last year or so. So that's definitely going to be really intimidating to look at for Bishop Kelly. Of course, I got faith in him. If Bishop Kelly can drop 9 rounds on defense, so can Kennedy.
Let's get into the pistol round because, of course, if you are Bishop Kelly, if you're looking to surmount the comeback, it has to start with the pistol round. You cannot start this half playing from behind. It's going to be a 4v4 as the plant does start. They should be able to get this thing down as well, but if Procrastinator is able to get up and get a little control up in heaven, you got to be able to hit your shots. Might be able to find another frag here as well, but Jace finds 2.
Jace finds 2, Roro finds 1, make it 3 as the double to end us out. And that will be double digits for the Kennedy Cougars. And Q, you were just saying, they needed to win this pistol round. You cannot come back without starting the half off right, and they did not do that. Very clean round from Kennedy. And the trend continues. Whenever Kennedy wins a round, it is incredibly clean. You hardly ever see them win the scrappy rounds. I think there was one, it was a 1v1 a little bit earlier on in the first half. But other than that, it's always usually 3v1s or 4v1s or in some cases even 5v1s.
Yeah, they've been really clean as far as we saw, of course, their executes last time around. It's nice to see as far as their defense, very solid as well. Looks like this time around, Bishop Kelly is going to be looking towards the A side, but they are, of course, going to be moving their way around through the mid as well on the catwalk. Not going to be able to find any, at least, information for now. But it does get interesting. They're going to step their way through. Going to be able to find Clarence.
Unfortunate timing issue. MF, though, look at this. Peeking out, Bad Kid helping out with the headshot from the Ghost. And they've got an advantage yet again. I believe that's not going to spot anyone, but it is good to force them out, get them 1 kill. At least it's a trade. Roro and Jace just keeps on connecting. The 1 kill for the 1. And Jace has the Bulldog in hand. The Bark is unfortunately a lot better than its bite.
Now it's 11-3, and they're going to have to try and figure out something here. They forced up a try and prevent, you know, kind of that build up in the second half, but that does mean that they're going to have to go with a Shiko round. Sheriff's pretty well across the board, except for on Lux, half shields as well. So right now, another round that should, you know, pretty well favor the Kennedy Cougars, potentially putting them on the map point. It's a tough spot to be in.
Oh, really nice rush from Roro. Just going to keep going. Take down that turret. Gets back into safety. I think they realize they're kind of out of their jurisdiction. Got a little bit silly. Oh, just a little bit too aggressive, but you know what? It's all right. They're going to go right back at it.
Bakery's going to tuck up into this corner, and as for now, they're going to try and find some sort of information over on the side of the Kennedy Cougars. They're playing back and playing passive for now on that Bishop Kelly side, trying to see if maybe, just maybe, they can force the Cougars to overextend, be a little bit of aggressive with the fact that they do have that advantage, especially in the gunny and artillery, but slowly moving their way over towards A. They do have some room here if they execute fast, but as time dwindles down, the Cougars will know they're there, especially with the presence now going to be connected now. Detected, sorry.
One-man advantage on the eco round as well. Clarence, oh, that is an unfortunate block for the Bishop Kelly Knights. And they look very scared. The flank's coming out. This is going to be very difficult for them to win. MF with a nice shot. Maybe make it one more. Oh, they're both whiffing entirely. But finally they lock back in and lock it up for a triple kill. That'll be map point for the Cougars.
Match point.
Absolutely rolling here. He shot the sheriff and also shot the deputy. To mention map point, really asserting themselves here. 12-3, that's insane. And yeah, we're gonna have rifles now in the hands. Can't help but wonder if the momentum, though, just a little much for the Cougars. I mean, it's gonna take a massive comeback if they're gonna want to even just force overtime.
For sure. It's going to be 9 rounds in a row, which a 9-round game at halftime is one thing. It's doable. Very difficult, but still doable. 9 rounds in a row is a whole different monster. The good news for them is they do have a bye round to work with, but they'll have to do it so many times in a row. And how is that going to work? They've got the first kill, but they're still trailing in the man count. They've got such a huge advantage. They've got such a huge disadvantage that it's just falling one by one. Dot's last one left alive. Clarence spraying through. And without even breaking half a sweat,
wow,
that's the end of the first map. Cougars win at 13-3.
Wow, the Cougars absolutely feasting over there on Ascent, only allowing 3 rounds. And kind of like we talked about there a little earlier in the map, Tucker, it felt like the couple of rounds that they lost were very, very close as well. Got to give a big shout out to Roa Noah Zoro, who went 21-8. Amazing. Almost had themselves 2 aces, but also worth noting, it didn't really feel like that there was I always feel sorry for saying like weak link, but someone who didn't quite pop off. Everyone was delivering over on that Cougar side.
No, there was no weak link on the Cougar side because even their lowest player was still 10-7 with their Sentinel. Jace going 12-8, and typically we don't see the Sentinels pop off in the crazy kills, but I mean, everybody was insanely clumped up with Clarence, MF, Jace, and Badkill all separated by just 4 kills. And I mean, unless you want to call everybody below Roro the weak link, which you're just not going to, I guess that's the closest thing, but Roro absolutely popped off. Clarence and MF provided so much with utility. Roro was just stomping through everybody. They were simply skill diffing everybody on the other team. There was no chance for Clarence and everybody else to get kills.
Yeah, I mean, just really pushing forward. You mentioned kind of getting all the free space, not just from their own plays, but from their teammates here as well. So, you know, now we have a little bit of downtime between map 1 and map 2. I see we're already getting our players set up. We're going to be heading off the binds here, and you can't help but wonder if over on that Bishop Kelly side, you maybe even just starts as simply as losing the pistol and then the bonus from there. I mean, does the mental already start getting into that? Here we go again. You're a state champion, though. You imagine that the mental's got to be pretty tough. We know that these players, you know, have quite a bit of gun power, but as for now, the Cougars just seem to be a step above.
Cougars really good. And I am a little bit worried how map 2 is going to go. Is this Bishop Kelly team going to be able to fight back or not? It's one thing to go at it and get unlucky, maybe lose 13-10, 13-11. 13-3 is a high horse to get off of. And I don't think they are going to be able to pull them off of that. They have a chance, of course. They have some pretty good shooters. They've got some really nice plays. I really liked what I saw in the 3 rounds, what they did win. But I don't think they had enough grit to make most of those rounds even close, and that might be an issue that pulls over into the next map. Of course, it could have been a bad game. Who knows? They're state champions for a reason. They're obviously a good team. But are they on Kennedy's level?
Are they on Kennedy's level, and or maybe even just on today, right? Sometimes you happen to step in and maybe the warm-up didn't quite go the way that it was. Now it's time to lock in. I mean, you do have a little bit of time here, Tucker. We've seen teams be able to turn things around. Some people, they're like the Rocky Balboa. They need to get punched once or twice in the mouth before they bounce back up and come with the haymakers. Maybe that might be what we see here from the Bishop Kelly Knights, but as far as for the Kennedy Cougars, man, they seem to be on the hunt. Everything that I noticed from them, especially their executes on the offensive side, were quick, they were precise. And man, they're gunnies. They're accurate.
They are. Kennedy coming off of a 13-3 win, looking to make this a very swift 2-0 on the series. However, Bishop Kelly, they've got a little bit of a breather, and they are ready to fight back. Now, as we go into their map pick, which is mine, it's pretty defender-sided, not quite as much as Ascent, but I feel Bishop Kelly should have a bit of an easier time on this, considering that it is their pick. They're obviously comfortable with it, but how comfortable is Kennedy? That's my question.
Yeah, it's going to be a really important question that we'll find out here in these first couple of rounds. But before we head into Bind here, we do want to make sure that we're thanking League OS for powering this tournament. We're excited to share with LOS Portal, where college recruiters can easily find high school prospects. We're inviting every high school student to head on over to portal.leagueos.gg and set up their college portal profiles. Make sure you're getting on in there and getting scouted out, man. Put every kind of advantage in front of you. But let's get it off to Bind. Let's take a look at the agent select here. Looks like we're seeing no mirror comp this time around.
No, not this time. I see a fade, which is surprisingly not matched here by the Kennedy side. They have an initiator in the sky, but I was expecting a little bit more of an intel base, more of like a radius based initiator, such as a Sova or a Fade. But no, they decided to go with the sky, which is good for the healing. But I feel like having a sky on their own is not quite good enough. So that might be a problem in the future, like in the close rounds where they just need that little bit of extra intel. Of course, they do have the intel from the blinds, but I have my doubts.
I think the one thing that also really stands out to me, the Cypher. We're not really seeing that too much on the Bind these days. So, seeing a couple of picks that maybe, that's the off pick, I would say, to go along with that Sky. So let's see if maybe there's something they're looking to make a play there. Of course, obviously gives you a little bit more utility as far as on the defensive end where they are starting. So maybe that's the thought process here.
Bishop Kelly, no Cypher, no KJ, no nothing like that. That is an odd choice. I'm not gonna lie, that's really, really weird. We'll see how it works. It's a bold strategy, Cotton. Let's see how it works out for them. So far, not too well, but it is the pistol round. They've only lost one player, so it could absolutely be worse. Got to be careful though. That right-click classic is just waiting to pop off from clearance. You cannot get too close in lamps, or else bad things are gonna happen. But the round evened up and actually put in the lead to Bishop Kelly as Bakery lands a really nice shot. Maybe one more. Roranova can't quite get the shots they need to land. Procrastinator stuck between a rock and a hard place, but they're to get another one.
Yeah, the other thing with Procrastinator here is he is delaying the last bit of the defense from even being able to rotate over towards A. However, Procrastinator, just different. Not only wasting time, finding themselves the first frag and is causing Jace to chase after him. Does pick up the ghost here as Jace, and instead of worrying where this plant is, turns the corner, finds Procrastinator, but now having to rotate a long way to go in a short time to get there.
Yeah. Eastbound and down. Good song. Very good song. 1v3, not a very good situation. Clock's ticking. Looks like we're going to go into the next round. However, if Jace plays this right, they might be able to kill everyone with the spike. And it looks like Bakery and Gizmo will fall. Fade will get away. But the pistol round goes to Bishop Kelly. Weren't quite able to save those pistols, but they are going to get those spike orbs.
Gonna get themselves some orbs, and they're gonna be able to invest up just a little bit here as far as this second round because they do have the econ for it. Gonna be seeing ourselves a couple Spectres, got a Bulldog out here. Always, of course, love to see the big dog from the judge. Interested to see as far as, looks like they're setting up for a quick push into B here. They do have to worry about Roanoa sitting right there waiting.
Careful with that. They are still on the pistols, but know what a pistol can do. We saw what a classic could do in the last round. They absolutely went crazy with him. The Ghost hardly did anything, but the classic? Yeah, free gun, by the way.
Not having to invest up with that. Able to keep themselves upright and standing here, which will slow things down. just a little bit from the side of Bishop Kelly. He's going to start entering their way into the site here. Roro Noah, though, going to be able to find 3 with the Classic. It's going to be up to 406 and Bakery to try and wrap up this round. Bakery gets the spike down, does have the judge in hand. Bakery going to be able to find one. Unfortunately, though, oh, I thought he was going to get found. Instead, got able to cover his back, and now it's 2v1. Going to be able to find him here as well. 406 going to wrap up a second round.
The Thrash? The Thrash on the second round. First off, how did you even get that? Second off, that might be a little overkill. Especially going up against a pistol round, but you know what? Hey, a round is a round. They take it. Going up into the bonus round, I would have maybe saved it for this bonus round if it happens to get close, because you're likely going to lose it. But, you know, the Thrash is the Thrash. You either use it or you don't. Thrash is just like every other ultimate. At halftime, it goes away, but we're quite a way away from that.
Yeah, I think the thought process here for Bishop Kelly is to just try and compound down some momentum early. They realize how map number 1 went. You don't want the side of the Cougars to start feeling any sort of like extra momentum, right? So you overinvest in round number 2, but you are still gonna now be able to have a little bit of pressure. Round 3 going to be absolutely huge for them. They do not want their econ reset. MF though gonna find one. Clarence finds one as well. That's gonna at least give them an advantage pushing on to site.
One enemy remaining.
Procrastinator gets killed. The smoke goes down at the most inopportune time. Spike is stranded in a very rough spot. Fearlux has a judge. Hey, he picks up a Vandal though. Gonna help out, but how are they gonna get out of this situation with Roro holding right where they need to catch them off? And a very clean bonus round, only losing 1. MF is the unlucky soul that dropped.
Right here.
But everybody else on the Cougar side is still alive.
It's going to be a very, very big round for them. We talked about in that last map just how much that 4-person standing, especially when you have rifles in hand, how much that can help with the economy as it continues to build. So they're able to get themselves 1 round like that. Does look like they are going to have a decent buy over on the Knights side, but it's not going to be able to match it. So this should be another round where the Cougars can bring the heat.
Got a little bit of an advantage. The weak link on the attacking Knight side is that judge, but we know what the judge can do. We saw Fearlux get one in the last round, but can they get another one? And can they get enough to really make it worth it? Oh, nice fake flash. I really liked it. It does not get any kills, though, as a double flash unfortunately got the best of them. But they do stay alive, so no harm, no foul. But look at the paint shells from behind. MF lands a couple shots, but not enough to get the kill. Procrastinator has to fall back as A-Site's wide open.
A-Site is going to be wide open, but a little bit of passiveness on the push through door there. And now they're going to get met with some resistance. Bad Kid actually sitting up there in heaven, going to be able to find one. And now time of the essence.
Taken down.
Really nice shot from Clarence. Headshot. Procrastinator goes down. Oh, the Molotov is fantastic. But look, that kid sticks it through. There was so much health, they just stuck through the acid.
That's big there. It's going to be a round 1. It is going to be a rifle save, though, if we think about over on the side of Bishop Kelly. But another round on the side for the Cougars where they were able to keep,
Right
what was
here.
it, 3 upstanding as well. So able to bring the score back to 2s, Tucker. But I can't help but wonder, now that we got rifles in hand, we saw that their gunnies just seemed different over on the Cougar side. Let's see how things play out.
Already, Bishop Kelly is on an eco. They do have one big gun on 406. They've got a Phantom and a Hy-Vee shield, but everything else is really, really light. The Sheriff, of course, has pop-off potential, but that Bucky is going to be a liability. Of course, we know it can be reliable in close range, but I don't think they're going to get too many positions, especially since they know this is an eco round. And after that headshot, that gives Roranora the Seekers. That should be a pretty easy spot.
Able to catch them coming through there on the paint shells, almost like we're shooting clay targets. Pull! That opens things up here over on the side of Kennedy Cougars. They're going to have the man advantage, but That's not going to slow the Knights down from trying to push
Down.
B long. 4 of them all grouped up here. Clarence and Roro Noah have the ability to double swing if they want to. They're waiting for everyone to get up close. Here it is.
Nice
Turns
swing.
the corner. Clarence, I thought was going to be able to get a shot. Isn't going to be able to find it. Is going to have to rotate back. And
Spike
now it's left to a
down
2v2.
30 seconds left.
Gun advantage now gone. As it's a 2 versus 2, the spike is in hand. They're going over to A. And both 406 and Fear have a rifle in their hand. MF tanks a lot of damage, but gets through that Molotov.
Spike
And I
planted.
don't think they
One
know
enemy
that he's
remaining.
there. And they definitely do now with a great shot. And the showstopper is still online.
406, the last one left, has to defend the
One
spike
enemy remaining.
with their life. Going to be able to find MF. Now left to the 1v1 here. The only problem is Jace sitting on 6 HP in a dream. Knows exactly where 406 is. Able to find the shot. Should have the time as well. And that means now it's going to be 3 straight rounds for the Cougars.
Got the time, got the clutch, had the ult if they really wanted to use it, but they didn't need to. They knew exactly where they were. Big brain moves from Jace, the Senti main. They played the KJ last map, and now they're on Cypher top fragging. Things are looking really nice for the Cougars. Off of that kind of half eco, more of a quarter eco for Bishop Kelly. They got a lot better buy this time around as they have a Judge as the weak link, but everything else is pretty much sunshine and rainbows with 4 big rifles. And they've got a little bit of money. If they make this round competitive, they will have enough to buy for the next round as well.
Yeah, the econ definitely huge on their side, and looks like going to be push over onto the A site for Bishop Kelly, looking to really assert themselves. Bakery going to be able to find the opening pick. The showstopper comes up from MF, but not going to be able to find one. So now going to have a big man advantage. 5v3. Let's make it a 4v3 after the kill here from Bad Kid.
Spike did not get planted. That might be a problem. 406, huge flank. Rora Noah gets a little too comfortable in their spot. Procrastinator with an easy shot. And 406 has another one in their back pocket. Spike gets planted. The streak is over for Kennedy Cougars. The economy's starting to get a little bit thin for the Big Cats.
Just a little bit here, but of course, I mean, buys should be relatively equal going into this 7th round. I love to see that the Knights have been able to bounce back, keep things close on map number 2 after they were, kind of pushed around on map number 1. Going to be a big round for them here on the offensive side. The only problem is they are going to have to worry about a Viper's pit getting pushed over towards B, but the good news for them, they're looking to push over towards A. They get 2 opening frags as well here from Bakery.
I like the aggression, but it's not enough. They read it like a book, and they got a 2-man advantage. Clarence and Rora Noah are going to have to run around. The Bucky somehow getting that kill, but shot through the box is how their round will end. Bakery now on for 3. Still 2 more on the board. We'll see if we get another ace. Rora Noah has a really nice shot lined up from long range, but now they know where this retake is coming from.
Looks like here at least Clarence for now going to be pushed back. You definitely understand the save. Sometimes the right answer isn't always the fun answer, but when you do look over on the side of Noah, gonna maybe try and find one more. Unfortunately found first by 406, leaving Clarence as the only rifle left standing.
Rifle stays up. I like the save, but I really wanted to see the retake. Like you said, the smart answer is not always the fun answer, but I want to have some fun. I want to get the crazy retakes coming in. But they make the right choice. They keep their guns, and hey, they can make a pretty competitive buy for this next round. They've got a couple of weak points in their armor as they've got to get lights for 4 of the 5 players, but, I would argue that the guns are a little bit more important, especially when you're going up against a team full of like half Vandals. So if you got about a 50-50 shot, a little bit worse of going up against a Vandal, and it simply will not matter.
Most we have seen that, I mean, unless the Outlaw starts getting broken out, the half shields kind of the way to go in a lot of rounds. We've kind of seen that made popular in the higher levels over the course of the last year or so. Roronoa is going to be trying to wait for the entry, is not going to be able to find one. Bad Kid gets the opening frag here over for the defense and getting the trades back and forth. Roronoa misses some shots, but MF going to be able to find Bakery.
Smoke's down.
Oh, that was a little funny. Kind of hard to watch, but you know what's all right. Kennedy gets this game back under control, gets this round back under control, definitely. Fear Lux left with just 6 HP. Got another player in that Viper. They've got full shields, full health, and almost full utility. They can't really use that Viper wall. They already put it down. But it's actually a really good spot for them.
Hard for them to find a way to push over towards where the spike is. Both of them
30 seconds left.
currently sitting in the window, trying to see if maybe he can get one more rifle out of hand, but Bad Kid gonna spray through the wall, gonna be able to find Lux. Gizmo, their location has been given away as well, but I think over on the side is, I was gonna say for the defenders here, I thought for the Kennedy Cougars they'd be okay with just kind of covering back on the spike, but able to find the shot eventually.
We are all evened up yet again. The economy is actually in a really balanced spot. It favors Bishop Kelly just a little bit, but not by much. We've got maybe one more round of security. But if Kennedy wins this round out, then things will get a little bit interesting. We'll start losing that bank. I mean, they've been building that up for quite a few rounds, as even when they've lost, it's been not terrible. They haven't really been dominated through. It's mostly been 2-1s or 2-0s. We haven't seen many flawlesses or anything really close to it. As first kill goes the Kelly way.
406 just snapping, man. They've been playing really well all day long. Jace is going to fall here to Procrastinator as well. And that should pretty well give site access here to the Bishop Kelly side. I think they have the location as far as on the one player trying to play up towards heaven. Now it's going to be about time.
2-man disadvantage on this retake. We've seen it happen before. We've seen this team do it before, but they have such a tall task to go through, especially with that judge. You're just not going to win that fight. Roronoa, really nice shot, getting a double kill as they line it up. Procrastinator goes down, and we all of a sudden have a fight on our hands. The spike's ticking. Things are getting really close to the end, but Roronoa have a really heavy opportunity, but Dot will end it. That diffuser was necessary. They had to go for it. Either that or try to go for the kill and tank the spike death. You got to go one or the other.
Bishop Kelly getting its first lead since back at round 3, essentially. So able to pull themselves ahead just a little bit here. This time around, the buy not really going to be favoring the Cougars. Going to have a couple of half shields. Meanwhile, Econ, after that round win here, going to be looking decent as far as for the Bishop Kelly Knights. I feel like for them, they've got to really make sure they've got a nice coordinated push, understanding kind of where they're sitting out on the round. Meat and potato rounds here. Last 3 of the first half.
MF, nice shot. Goes back into safety. Paint Shell is going to do quite a bit of damage. No, somehow Fear Lux got away with that completely unscathed. I'm not sure how. I think it might have been blocked by the box, but either way, I feel like that should have done a little bit of damage. But alas, I guess not.
Still expecting the push here over towards A. Roronoa going to be able to find the head of Dot. That's going to be a second frag. You wonder, do they decide to commit this thing over towards B? But they've already pretty well committed on to A site entry. Procrastinator finds Roronoa. But now it's 2v3 over on the side of the A site because Bad Kid's still covering over on that B side. And
one enemy remaining.
The slower push isn't really going to buy you the space that you're looking for, especially when Clarence can snap and find 2 headpieces like that.
Clarence.
Stay in range of my stim.
Clarence! What a shot. And we are evened up. I like how this game is going back and forth. We get some nice competitive Valorant. The first map was pretty one-sided. This time, these teams are going back and forth. They are essentially going band for band. As the economy still so even. We have not seen an eco round in what feels like forever. We've seen a couple of weaker buys where you got to bring out the light shields, but as in a full eco, I don't think we've seen it since like round 6 or 7.
Yeah, it's been a little bit of time. I mean, both teams still able to get enough throughout their rounds to continue to at least, give themselves a fair shot. You mentioned how they've been going back and forth as the pendulum does swing, but it is going to be a push up here on this B long side. Bakery rounds the corner, able to take down Noah. That's a big opening frag because that's somebody who's really been controlling the map here today.
Showstopper, nice one. Bad Kid eliminated off of it. Jace trying to keep this round as close as possible. Great shot. Still down by 1, but not for long as MF gets back into it. Tries to catch Bakery on the retreat, but it's just not good enough. I don't think they know about Fear Lux being right there where they need him. Jumps through, almost grabs the kill. And the Thrash is good to detain 1, but Clarence is still keeping everyone alive. And they're going to get away from that Thrash detain like nothing ever happened.
So use of an ult that doesn't get you much value. Luck's going to turn the corner. MF finds the headshot here. And that is going to give the Cougars the lead by 1. Last round here into the half. And you figure if you can get out of the defensive end on Ascent with 7, you've got to be feeling pretty good.
Gotta. Definitely better than going down 5-7, as historically Bind has been a somewhat defender-sided map. It hasn't been crazy defender-sided, but it's usually had a bit of a defense lean. So if you can get out of there with 7-5, that'd be good. You're definitely feeling good. You definitely don't want to go down at the half, maybe like 5-7 or 4-8 especially. That'd be really dicey. But so far, they're looking really good. They've had a couple of weird rounds where they kind of threw it away when they didn't need to, but as a whole, Kennedy is really strong, and they are playing like it.
Yeah, I mean, this squad here from Iowa has really been controlling the pace, not just in map number 1, but there have been a few rounds where it feels like they're really able to establish their dominance here on map number 2 as well. And it does look like once again, Bishop Kelly looking to try and push over towards this A side. If you've been able to find yourself some success, might as well continue to push that way. But this has to be a round where you can tie things up. I feel like 7-5, although it be a small, deficit for this Bishop Kelly team from Idaho to have to play from. It's kind of a big hole to play from behind against the Cougars.
That'll be where it gets a little dicey. Viper's Pit is used in a really nice spot. I like where they popped it off. Clarence getting a little bit closer. Bakery and Gizmo both going down, and the Viper's Pit going to get next to nothing in terms of usability. Fear Lux has to clutch the impossible, and they just can't have it. Nora will get the defuse, will send us into halftime with the lead going to the Cougars. Even if it's just a little bit, that does monstrous things to their mental.
I feel like, especially knowing the fact now for the Cougars from Kennedy, they know they're, at this point, 6 rounds away. Feeling pretty good about things as far as for now. Who knows, though? Maybe the defensive side here for Bishop Kelly is where they feel most at home. We kind of talked about it in map number 1. That was a more important, I feel like, pistol round in the second half. But for Bishop Kelly, if you can win the pistol here, that 5 quickly becomes 7. All of a sudden, you got yourself a ball game.
Yeah, this is nobody's game yet. We are still in the infant stages of how this game is going to go. We're about at halftime. However, in terms of comeback and in terms of certainty, who knows who's going to win this game? All it takes is a pistol round going the way of Bishop Kelly, and this is almost a tie ball game. Probably going to get the eco, so very likely going to be. And even if Kennedy's able to slip this pistol round the other way, there's still a potential for them to make a run after the bonus round, go down 5-9, and easily make that 8-9, or 9-9 even, if they're able to get a couple more.
Still going to be at 5s. No one's fallen just quite yet here in the pistol round. Procrastinator going to be able to find the first, but looks like going to be a quick rotation over towards the side of B. However, they are going to already get met with a little bit of resistance. Fear Lux here has the shorty. Might be waiting for the right time to turn up out of the tube, but the perfect time is what they're looking for.
They got 3 kills over at A. Does not surprise me that the spike is going back to where it originally wanted to go. As a great lurk by Bad Kid completely shut down everything that the Knights had going for them. And a 1v4 turns into a none v4. Bad Kid with the 4K on the pistol round is going to put things in a really nice spot for this Kennedy team.
Yeah, the Cougars are state champions from Iowa, man, putting on a show currently. I mean, that pistol round should give them the advantage, especially on the attacking side. I always feel like the extra advantage on the attacking side when you can really kind of push forward and round that corner, knowing that you've got the gunny different, just gives you a little bit of extra kind of confidence here. Does look like they're going to be setting up for a quick push down the B-long side. Let's see what things look like here for now.
MF driving through with the judge. Not even needed though. Look at Jace on the other side, getting an easy kill. MF looking for somebody. They don't know where Gizmo is though, hiding behind the smoke. It was a great hiding spot, but the Seeker still comes, and the Seeker finds. The plant goes down. 2-man advantage for this attacking team. Going to be incredibly difficult as Bad Kid is coming on that flank with a Spectre. No chance. Simply nothing involved, and a flawless round for Kennedy. And all of a sudden, they've got 4 in a row. Make that 5, and going into the bonus round, they've got a disadvantage, but they're on cloud 9 right now.
Yeah, 5 rounds in a row, 6 of the last 7. This team is rolling here, starting to look reminiscent of the dominance that they were able to put on display in that first map against this squad from Idaho. The Bishop Kelly Knights really need to find a way to turn things around here in round number 15. The last thing that you can afford to happen is getting your econ reset.
No, they cannot afford that here, as considering they will be down in the dumps and Kennedy's going to be on double digits. I feel like this is a must-win round for them. Of course, there is a chance to come back. There's, of course, a chance to force a thrifty round, but Kennedy's been so good so far, especially these last couple of rounds. They've got to swing it back, and with Bakery getting a double kill off of the jump-through, that is a fantastic way to start it out.
It's going to be a double to open things up, and it causes a potential slow little it looked like maybe a rotate over towards A, but no, actually Spike and Clarence still sitting over on that long side, has to make the way around the bend. Bakery has been cooking, and with no really movement over towards that A side, that should let the 3 players over on the B site know that this execute's coming.
Jace taking it slow. Couple of shots revealing themselves. Bakery just jump peeking. Not going too far, not going crazy. They don't want to let anything go for free, and Dot has a really perfectly executed shot. Clarence lands 1, takes down that blind as well. I think Clarence is going to try to push through this. Double stacked up. 406 is going to end that round out, and nearly a flawless bonus for the Knights.
That's what this squad from Idaho needed, Tucker. You needed a big round, not just for the win to slow down the Cougars, because they were cooking. We mentioned the 5 straight rounds from the squad from Kennedy. But also here now, maybe just enough to start to turn the tides. I mean, it's still within 3 as far as the round differential. And for the defense, maybe if you can start to dissect the opposition, this is where you can really bring the Cougars to a screeching halt.
Has to happen here, though. They can't waste too much time. They've got to go on a run. They can't let the Cougars get too far ahead, as 4 rounds was already pushing it, but they were able to get a round off of them, stop the momentum before it got too late. but they need to keep that up. Dizzy held in hand of Bakery, shot out of the air, and in comes the execute. Bakery has one, but it is immediately traded off. Bad Kid, a great shot, close range. Here comes the Viper's Pit to hopefully secure this round for the attackers, but we've seen how quickly a Viper's Pit can be completely negated.
Yeah, I really like using the Viper's Pit here at the doorway, though. Can they continue to secure it up is going to be the real question. Lux, though, steps through when the pit falls down. Clarence is going to be able to find two here, leaving it to the 1v1. And really, at this point, Jace is going to be able to get the sound notification that's up. Also gets the shot from the Cypher cam. Doesn't want to wait too long. Doesn't matter. Jace finds the headshot. And that's round number 10 over for the side of the Cougars.
Jace just got the clutch gene today. I don't know what it is, as that's the second time that Jace gets it done. Double digits is now reached for Kennedy. We're back to that 4-round differential. This is kind of that edge point where things are between bad and really, really bad. Of course, last time we were at this deficit, Kennedy did drop the round. Bishop Kelly was able to close things up, but we're right back at it. These rounds going back and forth. And sooner or later, preferably sooner, the less stress the better, Bishop Kelly is going to have to go on a streak here.
Not going to find anything there, but MF going to be able to find a headshot. Holding the corner is Bakery. Gets found by Clarence. That's going to pretty well give them control of the site. It's Gizmo sitting in the back. And you can see they're going to clear that here as well. This is going to be a really tough retake, especially when you have 3 players playing as aggressive as they are for the Cougars. They're pushing together. They're mobbing up. They're swinging heavy. Gizmo finds one. Gizmo's going to not find a second as Jace gets to that kill.
2-man advantage. However, Jace is pretty low, but that is where the Sky comes in. However, Fear is on the flank. Good for the double kill. And this is where the judge can be of so much use. Dot almost taking down Clarence, and Clarence, with the life he was given by his teammate Bad Kid, will use it and fuel that next and get the round done and dusted, pushing it to an eco round for the Knights.
Yeah, I was about to point out the eco round here, Tucker. The squad from Idaho in a lot of trouble. Basically a Shiko round. We're going to see ourselves 1 Stinger, 1 Judge, but they are going to be walking their way into 4 Vandals from the Kennedy Cougars here. And I mean, for the Cougars, they feel like they've had a pretty good control of the execute on to B. Looks like they're going to push that way once more.
Here on out, you just got to take it as you would a normal eco round. You're starting to get on that cusp. You're only 2 rounds away from winning this game and this whole series. Can't get too nervous. Take it out. You've been here before. You're state champs. You can definitely finish this one out. 5-round differential. Make it 6 and then 7, and that'll be the end of the series. And with the trades going through, it just gets closer and closer to the inevitable end for Bishop Kelly.
Bishop Kelly going to have quite the task on their hands here. I mean, a 3v4 on the retake. A little bit of a disadvantage when we talk about the guns. You do have a Judge in the hands of Lux, but maybe the smokes give you the cover, but it's going to be left to 2. Pushing together here on the backside, and their location already given away.
Player standing.
And a double kill for Jace pushes us on to match point. And Kennedy keeps a lot of firepower. That's going to keep 3 of the Vandals. I believe 2 of them were completely unharmed, so they get to keep the $1,000 for the shields as well. And all of a sudden, they've got to force a 6-round comeback. Bishop Kelly, they were in this same situation in the last map where they were in 9-3 territory, but the stakes are so much higher now. If you lose 1 round, the series is over.
We're potentially watching our last round here for our show match to start things off as far as our Spring Champions Invitational. Can the squad of Bishop Kelly, our state champions from Idaho, extend things further? They've at least got the 2 first frags.
Out comes the showstopper, but is nothing there. Couple more kills, though. Still alive is this team as Clarence and Jace look to wrap all the way around. However, this smoke goes down at the wrong time. This could be the end of this round, but no! Clarence flips around, and they've got a red carpet to the A site. But no, look at Fear.
Last player standing.
Oh, turns the wrong way around the corner. Jace gonna find the kill. That gives him the space to be able to get the plant. And it's now all gonna be up to Procrastinator here. The last one alive, the last chance for the Bishop Kelly Knights, caught up on the ledge with the showstopper in hand. And I like this play from Chase, able to step away and step through. Gonna be able to find the last shot here as well. And Iowa state champions, the Kennedy Cougars, take home the dub.
Jace had to be the one to end us out. So many times in this match, it came down to Jace, the Sentinel. Nobody expects the Sentinel. No way is this Sentinel guy gonna clutch up 3 times. In that second map, Jace won the 1v1s completely by himself. No other intel needed. Going up against a showstopper in that last one. Oh my goodness! Oh, what are you doing? Jace is insane, and it absolutely showed in that last map. Jace went crazy, matching the top frag at 17-8. Man, what a game from these Kennedy Cougars.
Yeah, you know what really stood out to me, I think, the most as far as the performance from the Kennedy Cougars here today, our champions from Iowa? We saw in that first map, it was Roro Noah absolutely putting on display. We definitely mentioned them as our MVP, right? But then the scoreboard almost flips. They're looking out for Roro Noah, who's playing on the Sky, who still has a pretty decent game in their own right. But then it's Bad Kid and Jace popping off as well. Clarence turns around their first map. It just seems like this whole squad can pop off at any time.
Really can. I mean, whether it's the Sentinel playing Jace, whether it is Roro Noah, who was actually the low man on the totem pole for this map, still putting up a very respectable 13-14 with 9 whole assists. I mean, you cannot call him low man. Sure, might have been negative, but those 9 assists play in a huge, huge way.
The assists are always, you always got to have someone diming people up, you know what I mean? So everyone has their role, and when it comes to this squad, the Cougars, man, they know how to feast as an entire team. But when we talk about our show match as far as the Valorant side of things here, that's going to be a wrap as far as for that. But we do still have plenty more action for the Spring Champions Invitational here, all right? And I want to keep in mind that we do have our Rocket League portion starting up tomorrow as far as our group play. We've got ourselves several teams from across a couple of different states, from Illinois, Ohio, Indiana, Idaho, Michigan, Nebraska. And when we talk about those 8 teams, I just want to mention them real quick. We've got Thornton Fractional South, Wheaton North, Lima, Shawnee, Union City, Rigby, Linden, David City, and Franklin, all right? They've got themselves some group play to play through tomorrow. And then we've also got playoffs lining up on Thursday as well. And this has been a lot of fun to watch, man. I mean, you and I, Tucker, we also work in the high school scene. We always talk about how fun it is to watch students getting to compete, and to have something like this, an invitational where teams who don't necessarily always get to play against one another. Actually, none of these teams get to play against one another. These are top teams from some of the top leagues across the country. They get to test their skills against one another. We do got to make sure we're giving out a big thank to the League OS as well for powering the tournament. We're excited to share the LOS portal where college recruiters can easily find high school prospects. We're inviting every high school student to head on over to portal.leagueos.gg and set up their college portal profiles, man. It's been a really fun day today. I hope you guys tune in for some of our other stuff coming up later this week with Rocket League. If it's your first time through, hit the follow button, turn those notifications on. And Tucker, boy, it was fun today. Always a blast sharing the mic with you, my friend.
It absolutely was. It feels like forever since we've done it, but we are back. Want to thank everybody for watching, of course. Thank the sponsor, League OS, and of course, thank you all for tuning in. Make sure you're tuning in on Thursday. You're not going to want to miss it. It's the same time, same place, but not Valorant. It's Rocket League with so many good teams for that playoff. But that's unfortunately all we have for tonight. We'll see you next time. Thank you to everybody watching. Thank you to everybody playing. And thank you to our sponsor. We'll see you next time, hopefully on Thursday. But if not, catch us in the future right here for more LOS action.